I recently went to South America on a holiday, and not knowing what to expect, I did heaps of research on TripAdvisor. Here in the South American travel series, I'll be covering Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, and Brazil. I'll be sharing with you my top picks of where to go, what to eat, and where to stay, as recommended on TripAdvisor, along with a few travel tips that will help you on your South American travels. So come along on my journey as I explore South America, and make sure you're subscribed to my channel so that you don't miss out on any of these videos. Our first meal in Argentina, Buenos Aires. We're in this place called El Sanjuanino. I think that's how you pronounce it. My Spanish sucks. But we are in this area called Recoleta, and it's really, really nice. I'm very excited to eat my first meal in Buenos Aires. I'm just going through the menu and I have no idea what to order. It's all in Spanish. There's a little bit of English to kind of explain what it is, but still it's really hard. So you definitely need internet to kind of Google what each of these means and how the dishes look like. But I know that I definitely want to try out empanadas, tamales, and beef, and maybe a little bit of wine. I'm not sure. This was the most recommended for traditional Argentinian food, and it's currently standing at number 58 on TripAdvisor. The food was good, the empanadas were delicious, very traditional indeed. I recommend you try out different varieties of empanadas and order at least 2 to 3 per person. They were only $1.50 each. We also ordered a jug of wine, which costed us $5. I have to say, this place was very easy on our pocket, especially on our first day. We walked to this restaurant around 9:30 at night, and we walked back to our hotel at around 11 o'clock. I have to say, we felt really, really safe in Recoleta. There are quite a lot of police stationed at different spots of Recoleta, so you're being looked after. Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of Buenos Aires. This is officially my day 1, to be honest. Today we are doing a walking tour of Recoleta. We started our walk by the famous Teatro Colón through the fanciest streets of Retiro and Recoleta neighborhoods, discovering the magnificent architecture and learned about a generation that made Buenos Aires the capital of South America. We walked all the way up to Recoleta Cemetery, which is where our tour ended. It's not a game that I am playing, my love. Trying to hold my feeling, I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way, I think that I might. I know you. After our free walking tour, we made our way to visit Floralis Generica. This sculpture is made out of steel and aluminium with petals designed to open and close with the sun. This is number 29 on things to do in Buenos Aires on TripAdvisor, and I recommend you go check this place out because it's pretty cool. So after a full day of walking, we ended up in Palermo. We were in this restaurant called La Cabrera. We're very tired. It was a very, very tiring day. Got lost a few times. Yeah, let's not talk about how many times I got lost. But we're here. It's a Parrilla, so it's like a steakhouse. I'm very excited. I ordered a butterfly cut, 800 grams of steak alongside ravioli, which I'm very, very excited to eat. This place was definitely the best Argentinian grill we tried in Buenos Aires. And this is number 71 on TripAdvisor. 11 o'clock at night, we had to wait for 45 minutes to get into this restaurant, so I highly recommend you make a booking for dinner. Do watch out for the big portions though, and appetizers, and lots of accompaniments. Some restaurants, especially the higher end ones, charge a service fee of 10%, so make sure you carry extra money with you.
At this restaurant, for the food we ordered, including the service tax, came to $110. So, I finished that beef like it was nobody's business. I am so full right now. I am so tired. Food comed out. Apparently I did about 30,000 steps today. That's right, 30,000 steps. And it's showing me that I burned about 2,000 calories just from all of that walking that I was doing. So, as you can see, I'm very tired. I'm gonna head to my hotel now, and that concludes day one in Buenos Aires. I'll see you tomorrow. Bienvenidos amigos, it's day 2 in Buenos Aires and I'm in San Telmo. This is one of the oldest neighborhood in Buenos Aires, and every Sunday there is a San Telmo fair. This place is great for souvenir shopping, and if you're into unique antiques, this place will be right up your alley. So we took forever to find this place, but it is so worth it. This is so authentic. It's straight off that grill right there, onto the bun, and into our hands. Ooh, this is gonna be messy.
Isn't easy to show with the weight of the world.
Later that day, we went on a city tour with Free Walks Buenos Aires. The good thing about these tours is that there is no booking required. You just show up during the tour time and tip them at the end of the tour. We got a historic and political perspective of the city, and we walked through the Gran Boulevard of Avenida de Mayo, heard about the most glorious and terrible periods of Argentinian history. I really recommend this tour if you're interested in learning the story of Buenos Aires and its people.
I think we're made of something. I think we're made of something.
So just finished walking around Puerto Madero and also went on this lovely bridge. It's all pretty cool. I really want to eat Argentinian food. That's what I'm interested in eating while I'm here in Buenos Aires. So yeah, I couldn't really find anything here, but if you want to come down to this area for dinner, it's very classy, fine dining, so keep that in mind. It is good for a good night stroll, when it's not cold that is, but yeah. While walking around Buenos Aires, you will see a lot of Havana cafes. Take a break from all of that walking and sip anything dulce de leche. I promise you will love it. Dinner was at Pizzeria Guerrin, and this place opened back in 1932. When you're in Buenos Aires, you will notice that it has a lot of Italian influence. And if you go on one of the tours I mentioned before, you will know why. This was highly recommended on TripAdvisor and is currently standing at number 67. I got tempted by the protein content and I opted for a crazy egg option, and the pizza was huge, by the way. The taste was alright, but if you are there, I recommend you order the traditional style with ham and red pepper, and try ordering a half and half. That way you get to taste more than one variety of pizza. Don't forget to try the empanadas, they were really great too. Hola amigos, it's my last day in Buenos Aires and I'm in La Boca doing a tour with Free Walks of Buenos Aires. This tour was about 2 hours and we paid $12 per person. La Boca is very far from Palermo, Recoleta and downtown area, so I recommend you catch a cab. La Boca, famed for its colorful houses, its tango and its soccer team, is one spot that needs to make it onto your agenda. If you're going to Buenos Aires, I highly recommend you stop by this place. You can get some really cool shots in this area that will look great on your Insta feed. I'm not going to give you the whole story because you need to visit this place and hear the stories for yourself. When in La Boca, try going to El Gran Paraiso for lunch. Their barbecue was really good and it's a nice quiet spot for outdoors lunch. After finishing our tour in La Boca, we made our way back to Recoleta to visit Recoleta Cemetery. This was another paid tour that we did with Freeworks Buenos Aires, and it cost us $9 per person. When you first hear of a cemetery tour, you think, why the hell do I want to do that? That is so creepy. But get this. This is where you meet the once rich and elite of Argentina. Not at all creepy, right? This place is number 9 on TripAdvisor and is the best outdoor collection of artwork in the world. On this tour, we heard stories of some gruesome deaths, controversies, and finally, this is the place where they talk about Eva Perón, who she is, what her influence was, and why she is so famous. The tour and cemetery closed around 5 o'clock, so before dinner we made a stop by a shopping mall in downtown, Galerías Pacífico. This shopping mall is a great place to visit to see the art, but it's not that great for shopping. For dinner we went to Parrilla Pena. This was highly recommended and it's number 23 on TripAdvisor. As you can expect from any steakhouse in Buenos Aires, the portion sizes are huge. This is an expensive restaurant. We paid about $130 for 2 people. The entrees, appetizers and pasta were really good, but we chose the wrong cuts of meat, so we didn't really walk out happy or satisfied with our meal. When you're at restaurants, make sure you ask for English-speaking staff to avoid any disappointment. Also, if there is a service tax, try to pay the exact or closest amount to the bill, as the wait staff tend to keep the remaining change as a tip. Ice cream is a serious matter in Buenos Aires. There is an ice cream parlor every few blocks, so make sure you visit one before you leave. So today I went to La Boca and that place is very, very colorful. I don't know, out of all the places that I went to in Buenos Aires, I think La Boca has to be my favorite. If you are coming to Buenos Aires or if you're planning to come to Buenos Aires, one of the tips that I would give you is to do a tour. Don't try to explore the city by yourself. You probably can, but you wouldn't understand the history behind particular plaza or a, like why a sculpture is somewhere. You wouldn't understand the reason or the meaning behind it. And the good thing about doing the tour is they will tell you all of that stuff. So it's not just there for a pretty picture. You actually understand what makes Argentina, Argentina, or what makes Buenos Aires, Buenos Aires. Because from the tours, what I understood is each place has its own story, why it's there, why the people are the way they are, why the food they eat is the way they kind of prefer. All of that stuff you wouldn't understand it if you're just trying to explore the city on your own. So try do a guided tour. All of the tours that I did are with free walking tours in Buenos Aires. Those guys have been really, really good, and it's from a person's perspective. It's how they lived. The story they tell you is it's almost like it's their story. You're seeing Buenos Aires through their eyes. I hope that made sense. But yeah, that's one of the things that I really loved about the free walking tours. I did all of my tours with them and they were pretty good. So that's my tip for you. And my next tip is for you to bring US dollars with you, especially if you're from New Zealand, Australia, or any other parts of the world really, as you will get a better exchange rate with the US dollar. I highly recommend using Radio Taxi. They're the ones in black and yellow, and try asking for a fixed price while you're at it. And finally, I never once felt unsafe in the city. We walked around midnight. The people were good. The atmosphere was really great. Overall, I enjoyed my stay in Buenos Aires. This is a magical place with mismatched architecture and culture. I am heading out to Bolivia tomorrow, and the flight's really early in the morning. It's a very, very long flight. It's about 8 to 10 hours flight time, and there are about 3 stops. One in Santa Cruz, one in La Paz, and then we'll finally get to Uyuni. That's where the salt flats are. Join me on my South American adventure. I'm going Bolivia next. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button so you don't miss out on my next video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.